Hello, welcome. Today we are talking Boba Fett, and more specifically we are talking Boba Fett ear installation. Many of you will have received one of these helmets and the ear pack, and you're wondering how to install the metal ears. So I thought it would make sense just to run through it and explain how it all goes together so that we don't have any issues, problems or malfunctions. So let's get straight down to it. So here's all the bits and pieces that we get with the kit. I'm not going to bother with too much of this for now. Just want to concentrate on these. So we're going to give these an install and yeah, make sure we've got no problems. Okay, first things first. A lot of this is going to be very simple, very straightforward, but I know there are a couple of bits that are less straightforward. So here we go. So we have the single large ear, the left when worn, and we have two tapped holes here and here, here. And what from this collection of screws, let's simplify. We're going to take this one out, the largest screw, and then we're going to take all of those bits out, take those out, take those out. Right, okay, so, and take out the cheese head screws. So what I'm going to leave myself with here is 4 of these screws. We've got 4 of these. These are 6BA screws. We're going to put a washer on and we're going to go into the back of the ear, if my fat fingers will allow. So this is what we're looking for. The dry fitted. So let's make some holes in the helmet. So I'm just going to drill a couple of holes. This bottom one's very obvious. This one less obvious because of all this gunk around it, but it is there. You see it right in the centre there. So we're just going to go in through there. Now I'm using a 4mm drill. And that's going to allow me to have a little bit of wiggle room, so I can still manoeuvre it around a little bit. If you're a little more confident and you want to start with a smaller drill, then fine, go for it. I almost couldn't find the hole then. Right, so I've got my screw lined up. I'm just going to got my screw lined up. So I've got my screws lined up. I'm just going to finger tighten it. They're roughly in place. So what I'm going to do now is just bring this in, put it on. So I'm going to use a screwdriver to just nip these up. One of these watchmaker style ones is an advantage if you've got one. Okay, that's the first side on, the first ear complete. That's the easy one. Let's have a go at this other side. Again, we'll start with the easier one. So clearly we've got a hole here to drill, and then we've got a hole just here to drill. Right, what I am going to do here is as I run my finger over it, there's a definite lump there, and this is pretty much caused from when the original helmet was moulded, and we've got this seam line where the mould was cut to release the helmet. You can see it there. And it's sitting a little bit proud, so I'm just going to give that a quick sand. And now what I am going to do is I'm going to avoid, in fact, let me show you. I don't particularly want to sand any area outside of this ear platform. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep my sandpaper within this rectangle. And this is the area here that I pretty much want to sand. So I'm going to take the other two machine screws and washers and screw them into the back of two tapped holes. So again, I've gone with the 4mm drill bit, so I've got a tiny little amount of wriggle room. Just get it going first with my fingers. There we go. Just so the thread's caught. Okay, there she goes. Screwdriver again, nice and easy. Settle from the outside, make sure it's in the right position. I'm happy with it, which I am. Okay. So far so good. Now let's deal with this slightly more complicated upper ear. So somebody put them in childproof bags. So we've got two parts that are obviously going to marry together. We've got two screws which are going to hold this inner ear cap to the helmet. Then we've got two screws that are coming through here which are going to hold this bottom, the outer ear cap to the bottom. Then we have the axle screw which is going to go through the rangefinder and screw into this outer ear cap also. So the two screws that are going in the bottom first of all, and now this is the fun part. I'm just going to test that they fit, because although the machine work is precision engineering, the tolerance on these screws can be a little hit and miss. But as you can see, they're going to go in beautifully. If for any reason they don't fit, they just need a little sand down on the screw head or get in touch. So I'm doing this now off the helmet because I want to show how it goes together and that it does go together and that everything's fine, because when you start on the helmet it may not be as straightforward. So this tightens right up so that we end up with this flush fit to the back. And you can see those screws are also sitting within the recess. It's beautiful. Okay, now all we've got to do is repeat this with it fitted to the helmet. Let's see what we've got. We've got a screw hole here, we've got a screw hole bottom center, and then we've got two holes which are basically going to be used as access points to get those two small screws right through the helmet and into the outer ear cap. Then we've also got this hole that we need to create, which is going to allow this piece to sit right through. So these are coming straight through. This is just an access hole. These are not mounting anything to the helmet, so we need to make the hole bigger than these screws. Then we've got the screw that's going to sit in the bottom. This is going to hold it to the helmet. And then we've got another screw at the top, which again is going to hold it to the helmet. Are we all clear? Okay, I'm going to start making some holes in this helmet. And and we can get the interesting part of the ear coupler. So I'm just drilling quite slowly, trying to go into those original holes. Anyone who's watching this and thinking, ooh, that's really close to the edge and it's drilling it like that's going to chip the gel coat, I know where you're coming from, but this isn't polyester, it's an epoxy, and it allows you to drill much cleaner. It's a much stronger resin system. Let's take this out. My trusty Dremel on the job. So I've got this real sort of aggressive routing piece here. You can use like a diamond tip one would work, but this takes no prisoners. Be careful. It can be a little grabby. Let's go. Go. Okay, let's give this a go. So we can test fit this. We're not going to know at this point whether those access holes that we drilled are going to line up properly. We may need to open them up a little more. Exciting. Now, I'm just going to test something before we go any further. Okay, happy days. So I'm using a 3/8 socket. 3/8 socket fits just nicely on the axle screw, and it means I can get it nipped up real nice and tight. Now we need the two cheese head slotted screws, which are these, and they need to go straight through. I'm going to remove this, open up my holes a little, because this is the real technical part of getting this outer rear cap to work. Once you're there, super easy. I'm just going to open these up just a tad more. Okay, that looks a little better. Let's see. Now, one thing you could try is just placing those screws in position to place the 4BA. Now, with a little bit of luck, we can make it through the night. We can make it through the night. I'm looking for the slot. Now, I did say these were fun, so I'm just trying to have a look and see if I can see screw, and I still can't really get on there. I think we're going to have to open it up a little bit more. This is basically a game of trial and error, just to get to the point where your screwdriver can meet those tiny screws. There's a small amount of that original hole still there at the bottom. I think that's the way I need to move, and this one needs to go just slightly this way. You see that? So I'm going to do that now. You can use a Dremel, or I'm just going to be a little bit lazy and use the drill. Another tip for you would be to use a nice round needle file. Now remember, these holes are to allow access straight through. You've not got anything on the inside of the helmet, so they don't need to be of a size that obviously are not going to fall straight through. We want them to fall straight through. Now clearly we don't want to go beyond this edge of the platform. We don't want the hole past there. But you can see we're able to get very close to the edge. So this front one's still not playing ball. Yeah, I'm liking that. Right, so I've got the screwdriver straight through the hole into the screw, and as I'm turning it I can feel the screw that's coming through the inner ear cap turning, so I can access all of them, so I'm quite happy with that. So before I finish off, I'm just going to make sure I'm in the right position, and I'm just going to tighten these up, because after this we're not going to access these screws again. Now one thing you're going to notice is once you've got it all lined up, this gap here is not even, it's slightly crooked, and that is intentional. Okay, let's get in there and tighten up these little screws. We could have made a schoolboy error there actually. We're just slapping this side off a little bit. So rather than go full at it, I'm going to do about half the distance I need to cover in there. Get on this other side. The front one now, the final one. Because I made the hole a little bigger on this front one, I've got real nice access to it. Right, that's on real solid. It's nipped it up real tight. I'm very happy with that, it's going nowhere. So the last piece of the puzzle. So I've just dropped that into position. It's already being held nice and tight. I'm going to come through from the inside with the axle screw. Now I'm using the socket, but I'm not gonna put a wrench on there. I'm just going to use my fingers, and this just allows me the grip I need to get into the actual axle screw without the thickness of the helmet getting in the way. And there you have it. That is the finished assembly. It clicks back into place. If you've got that, you've done the job. Perfect. and that's how we do the install of the metal ears.